It's like 110 degrees outside. Let's go check on Eric. Hey, Eric, you good? Oh, God! Alright, so the day has finally arrived. We're going to start digging into Valkyrie. And right now it's currently Africa outside. It's hot as hell. So we got 14 fans put up around us right now. But we're going to go ahead and dive into it today. And bro, what do you expect to accomplish today?
We expect to accomplish tearing it down, possibly stick a dynamite in there and just line the mother up and being done.
Pretty much how I feel at this point too.
No, so we got it jacked up. What we're gonna do, the first thing is, of course, you always jack it up. Make sure you have enough room so you can get around the car, work. This is where Valkyrie will set from here on out.
Yep.
Drain the fluids. We gotta drain the coolant, oil. Then you start getting to take this parts off.
Now, before he dives more into it, for those of you who are new to the channel, we had we're assuming a head stud stretch, and it caused the head gasket to pop, and then the number, what?
Oh, God.
3 cylinder.
Yeah.
We had pooling of coolant, and we did a leak test on there, and we heard this guy start burbling because there's no coolant in it, which showed that the head gasket is gone.
Yes. So it's just one of those things. Once I tested that 1 cylinder and it did that, that was it. That's done. You know, there's no sense in doing any more tests because you don't do one side and don't do the other. If you do that, well then you're fucking stupid. Like
Point blank.
You just are.
Now,
like,
do we show them some of the parts we've gotten in?
You know what? Let's do that. You know, let's go ahead and
all right,
show them.
So before we show you what's on the ground, I want to come over here. So over here, one of the big things is
you have your orange coolant.
Yeah, we need that
for us.
But with the stock head studs, well, they're not meant to hold as much boost as I've been running. So we had our guys over at ARP. Thank you and shout out to 505 Performance out of oh my God, New Mexico. Jeep experts. These are ARP head stud kit for the 3.6, so we'll never have to worry about that again. Then we have underneath here, that's Velcro gaskets, every single gasket on the engine. And then we have a timing chain that we may or may not get to completely replace.
Well, we're gonna replace it anytime you're in front of something, especially like this, since literally to get to the timing chain, you've got to take the whole front off. I don't care if you're 20,000 miles into it or if you're 120,000 miles into it. If you're already at that point, replace it just for safety and peace of mind, because 20,000 miles you can get in it and run, you know, fix whatever's broken, go down the road, and you can get 10 miles down the road and it can break.
Yep.
So that's just stupid.
It's true.
So
gaskets, timing chain, head stud kit. While we're in there, we decided, hey, might as well do another water pump as well. And then, well, I decided to go slightly overboard, and well, I ordered, well, race car parts.
Race
that we
car.
might as well put on there.
Waste
car. Yeah.
Waste car.
We have catless 3-inch connecting race pipes from AFE Performance that I think are going to sound phenomenal with the Ripp exhaust.
Yes.
I do think it's going to make the car potentially quite a bit louder.
It's definitely going to be louder because you got to remember what a cat actually is. A cat is a airflow restrictive mechanism that actually cleans the exhaust fumes up to allow for better emissions.
How dare you, Greta Thunberg?
Right? So, you know, I mean, it's a honeycomb.
A platinum
honeycomb piece that depends on the size of the the cat.
Wow.
The size of the cat, you know, so you know you get your restriction, your airflow restriction, and you also get the which actually makes it sound a little different. So once you take that restriction out, you're gonna beef up the sound a little bit. So we're very interested to see how it actually sounds. Of course, you know, that will not be today whatsoever.
No. If you're watching this video expecting the car to start today, just watch the next one.
Oh no, it can start today. We can turn the key and go blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah, start shooting fluids.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to the guys at AFE. These shall be interesting. This is a race-only product, and they made sure that's the box back there. They made sure on the box that, like, if you break this seal, you know it's a race-only product. Yeah, we get it. We get it. It's like what we've done the entire time.
Yeah, it's only illegal if you're caught. I mean,
Stupid. I'm just gonna go and register this thing in Liberty County and call it a day. But first step, we're just gonna start tearing down.
So, the biggest thing you really want to do is you want to make sure that you get all the little connectors marked, because if you don't get them marked, it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to figure out which goes where.
Yeah.
A lot of the connectors will only connect to the things it's supposed to connect to, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like us and look for a piece of boost piping for 3 hours.
You know what?
Sick of your shit, Alex.
Let's see what Alex gets done today by himself, because Eric's about to drive off.
Oh no, I'm gonna get stuff done. It's gonna be you putting it back together. I said it.
So, you know, and then the other thing, electrical connections, hoses. Hoses are a really big thing, just because of the fact of, you know, if you get a vacuum hose going somewhere where it's not supposed to go,
it might be one that we replace here.
And this one will definitely be the one we replace, because when the kit was put on, this was actually off of the F-150 because it needed to come around like this, and the hose is just not really designed well for this application. So we're gonna probably do a metal fitting hose.
So what Eric's being nice about right now and not telling you is we actually got to a point where this car was accelerating hard enough that that hose was flexing due to it not being like literally the most stable thing. Like if I can move it around my hand, that's not the most stable thing. And as it was flexing back and forth,
it rubs up against the
belt, the supercharger belt, the serpentine, the whole 9 yards right there. It sawed directly through it.
Yeah.
On the highway.
Yeah.
On the way to work on a Monday morning.
And we went and fixed that, and I mean, and it's understandable because of the fact of it's just, you know, it's for an F-150. It's not, you know, the way it's designed is designed to go on that truck for that application. This application it's not good for it. The hose gets heated very well especially because you know that this engine is known for the heat soak, so it breaks down the rubber a little bit more.
Especially when you add that little guy.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's just things that happen. I mean, it's nobody, you know, it's nobody's fault. It just does happen. So we're gonna go in there, we'll replace it, you know, make a good metal one there, so we don't have to worry about that again.
But in the meantime, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go ahead and pull this bumper. We're gonna pull everything out of the front of here, including the intercooler, and we may be removing the crash bar.
The crash bar is actually bolted on, so we will be removing that. And the reason we're gonna remove this is because we're not going to pull the motor just quite yet. So, and we're not going to pull the motor unless the rods are bent or anything like that. And we're going to get to that possibly today to show you how you can tell if the rods are bent or whatnot. And we will be going through every part of how to tell if something's wrong or something's not, hopefully.
And I mean, one of the biggest things, we were talking about this before the camera came on, that I want to see is we've got over 45,000 miles on this kit. And this isn't 45,000 miles of, hey, we're driving like Miss Daisy going back and forth and, you know, just enjoying life. This is 45,000 miles of me beating the shit out of this car. I mean, so I want to see.
That's a big foot. Like, that's a big, heavy foot. I mean, come on. Like, you know, that goes down really quick.
Real quick. And, well, I enjoy this thing, obviously. But what we really want to see, too, or me, I want to see what kind of premature wear, what kind of damage adding this much boost and a crazy ass driver can do to a car, because there is a potential that we open this thing and everything still looks good. There's also a potential that we open it up and we notice a lot of wear points.
If we were able to say what the hell it was going to look like before we opened it up, yeah, we would be in Vegas shooting craps. Because that's, you know, that's literally how it's going. Yep. So what all we're gonna do, I mean, you know, and that's just the way it goes. You know, you've got 15 plus pounds of boost at times. 13? The
highest we've maxed out is 13 on this one.
Oh, bro.
No. Shh, we went higher than that when we didn't have the transmission.
Okay, so yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So 13 pounds of boost.
Yeah.
So you know you can get different wear patterns than a non-boosted one. So
yep.
You know it's going to be interesting to see, and you know, like I said, we're going to show you, to my knowledge, the best way to check everything and see how it all looks and whether or not you need to be concerned about any kind of situation.
Money.
You know. And like I said, to my knowledge, I'm not the greatest person, but I definitely know enough.
Shut the hell up. This motherfucker's the shit. Hey, if anybody needs an Eric, I'm renting him out right now. It's $7,000 an hour. He comes without clothes. But anyway, we're gonna start digging into it.
Hey! If I'm coming out without clothes, you're probably only gonna get like 25 cents an hour, because they're not gonna pay no 7.
Well, no, the other $6,900
so that you'll take me back.
No, it's for the magnifying glass. Anyway, we're gonna turn on the fans and get to work. Ooh, fans are blowing. We got that. A little bit of boost piping over there. There's some structural integrity. Boy, Eric.
Yep.
What have been out here doing work? Good Lord. It is hot as hell, by the way. I got my Aunt Jemima on right now. But, dude, yeah. When you remove all of the, for lack of a better term, BS we had in the front, I could see how you said it would be a little easier to work on the block. My God, I have a lot of cleaning to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it serves two purposes. Number one, I know that the grime is just absolutely killing you, and it's killing me too, because you know there's so much of it there that, you know, I mean,
yeah.
And this is stuff that's not supposed to be greasy, like, you know.
Yeah.
This is like when you're doing motor work,
so something you guys, yeah, Hulkamania, brother. What you guys kind of don't realize about me is I'm a bit of a clean freak. I have been bitching non-stop about this, and this is from, you know, a valve that we discovered earlier that was not in good shape. And I mean, you can see down there my alternator is disgusting. Everything right here is just atrocious. Like even the block down here is just black. So yeah, I mean, while all this is out, I got a lot of cleaning to do. And then the blower, we can get cleaned up a little bit and start tearing things down. But I will say, even though it's hot as hell, we're moving right along.
Yep. So the metal piece that goes across here, you know, this came with the Ripp Supercharger. Yeah. So this is part of the
it's the extension they pushed out to be able to put the intercooler directly in front of the AC condenser. And
this is what the actual crash bar is. Now this plastic piece that goes to and fro, it's a support piece.
But literally it's just structural. It's plastic.
It's there to make sure, you know, you've got this to connect to. You've got your horns. You've got your headlights. And you know, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually made this way so you can do what I'm doing. Because, like I said, you know, if you go to a dealership to do this, to get the timing chain, they literally have to go in there and get all this stuff, every little piece of it in the front, off.
Yep.
So this actually gives you a lot better room, more room to work on and to get the things done that need to be done.
Well, ironically enough, every time me and you have had to mess with the blower and move something around, that piece of structural is what we had to fight against the entire time, to move bolts. We had to move things in and out.
Yep.
And just moving that alone, like, I don't think you guys quite realize how much space that freed up.
Woo! So, but you know, that took probably about
2 hours.
2 hours, you know, and you got to remember it took us 2 hours because we had the diode. What is it?
Yeah, diode dynamics, the Halo kit.
Yeah, the Halo kit. So you know, I had to work around that.
And like right now, like we got all that over there, the headlights over there, bumpers on top of the car, which that might not be going back on the car. We'll see.
So, but yeah, I mean, this is a good point, you know. So we stopped. We let y'all, you know. But Alice is going to do that. Now there's some things like, you know, here's your airbag. You know, you still want to be really gentle. The batteries, not disconnected. It's just been down for a long time, so I'm not worried about the airbag going off. So, you know, try to remember. Take pictures if you don't. If you don't think you're gonna remember, but like this is the headlight. Like it's gonna be really difficult. There's nothing else over here connection-wise. But like I don't think I've marked anything. Oh yeah. So like on this. So like on this, you know, it's I got the horn driver's side, the horn passenger side, you know, and the stuff that you mark that you're not sure what is what. And then that way, you know, you don't have such a hard time like what the hell is this? Yeah. Like, no, I'm serious, I'm asking. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. This is actually for the fog lights and the turn signals in the on the bottom. So
but now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start getting into the nitty-gritty of things. Yes,
we're gonna take the radiator off. We're gonna take the rest of the boost piping. The serpentine belt's coming off. You know, we're gonna start getting some of the stuff on the front of it off. Really would love to get the condenser off. Now, the issue with taking the condenser off is that it's filled with the Freon or the refrigerant. So if you're doing this at home, it's not a bad idea to have a mobile AC or a mobile mechanic come out, suck all of that out so you can remove that. Just be very careful. You know, make sure that you close the connection so your receiver dryer is not going to get anything in it. But this is a 16. We're probably going to do that just because it's been 4 to 5 years. So it's not going to be a bad idea to do that. Maybe even a new receiver dryer just because of the fact of, hey, you know, it's been running for 4 to 5 years. Things that, you know, like I said, you know, once you get into something, if it's something that's supposed to be changed at some point or along down the line a little further, just do it. The water pump on this, you know, even the alternator.
5 years, right? 5 years, because any 16 model was built in 2015. Roughly. 66,000 miles.
Yep. And what, 44,000 hard?
44,000 supercharged.
Yep.
Beating the shit. Yeah, and then like you were saying, the water pump, which is down here, we're gonna get in there, clean all that up.
And see, and the thing is like, you know, I am harping on it, but this is just the way that, you know, people will actually remember. So the water pump is underneath all this crap. All this crap is gonna be off. So if we take the water pump off, is the water pump still good? Yes, because it was still working. But why in the world put that on there? And then if it fail, when it does fail, you got to take all that right back off and it's just like, no. You do it this time.
Plus the water pump is $109. Stop being cheap.
Well, you know, you heard it from him, so. But
the timing chain kit, whole other story. That shit wasn't cheap.
No, it's not, and it's not gonna be. But you know, you got to remember, anytime you do something like that, why throw everything back together if it's gonna be something that at 120,000 miles, which could be another 5 years. It could be a little less. It could be a little more. But you're already there. Yeah. And to do a timing chain kit, you take it into the dealership. You're taking what, $2-3 grand if you're lucky. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too, and this is for people who just don't understand this. This accelerates the wear life of the engine and components. Yeah. If the engine was engineered to be supercharged, it would have been from the factory. This is an add-on. This is a bolt-on supercharger. Doing that, we're shortening the life of certain components that we're gonna fix now.
You're shortening the life of every internal component on the motor. Yep. And that's just the way it is. It's not that big of a deal. You know, you throw it on there. You know, you love it until something happens like this, like it did on this, and you just fix it because guess what? That's what cars do. Yep. So
shit breaks. Who would have guessed? Anyway, we're gonna get back to it.
The good side.
Oh my God, that's Eric, everybody. So, a moment ago, and well, let me just back up. Everybody knows there's a blown head gasket in this. We've proven that in a couple of videos ago. So we just pulled these guys off, and that's the stock connecting pipes, O2 sensors and everything, catalytic converters, and on the passenger side, which is that one. As soon as he pulled it off, starts spewing coolant everywhere, which is indicative of
blown head.
Blown head.
or
head blows.
getting
head. I mean,
your head
you know what the hell
blown. I mean, no. Blow
The
head
whole
gasket.
reason we're fucking here. But one thing I do like is
the fucking slave driver.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, these guys, right? Yeah, they're a little rusty, but the difference is, look at these and then look at that. That's the whole system, which is going to be taking over what this is. You think there might be a little bit of weight savings there, and then looking at this, cats are ultra restrictive. Hey, Cat.
Huh?
We're taking cats off.
Yeah.
How much louder do you think the car is going to be with those?
A lot. You heard the Mustang. Mustang had cats.
Yeah, but it was a Ford. It sounded like that because, well, something was broken.
That's
Good sport. Yeah, so.
You can't bash my new car. My new car's pretty.
Shh. They don't know about the new car yet.
It's pretty.
Shush, woman, don't you fucking say it. I'll punch you in the cock. Okay, so. Goddamn, I got some on this fender. Everything's open right here. The next step literally is what? I see the gasket right there.
The next step is to continue taking the front apart. Actually, it's the tappet covers or valve covers, and then
Cams.
Well, no, you got to take all the front stuff off before you can get the cams off. You got to get the you got to take the timing chains off before you can take the cams off.
So
that's pretty much where we're headed to right now. So these will come off. I've got all the wires and everything taken off. The cam covers, valve covers, whatever you want to call them, come off, and then this whole assembly, all this comes off.
And behind there is where the timing chain and everything is.
Timing chain.
We will be replacing the water pump. We will be cleaning up the AC condenser. Oh, I almost turned the camera around. Woo, that was a close one. I didn't do it though. Behind me, there's another car. Don't worry about that. And the alternator is on the truck, and we're gonna clean the alternator up because we just found out that damn alternator is expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving right along.
You know,
everybody needs an Eric. I told you earlier, $7,000.
We and if you don't want the magnifying glass, evidently it's just 25 cents.
But you got to pick them up.
And I'm a little heavier than I used to be, so it might be a little more difficult.
It's all in his forehead.
It's all in my forehead.
He's the opposite of Mr. Clean.
Oh!
I said it.
So rude.
Eric,
Yo.
you fucking stink.
Yes. It's Texas. I've been sweating. And there's no telling what other kind of bodily fluid.
Oh, all right. So first valve cover is off, showing the cams, and well, everything still looks amazing. I'm confused. How does this work? I thought shit was broken, and oh, this looks amazing. Oh, that's part of the timing chain. We got them shit over there. Good lord.
It's very tight.
That's what she said.
No.
Ugh. No, that's a real problem.
That's a problemos.
Hey, hold on, before you dive into the next one, even just for a split second looking at this, anything stand out to you?
It looks like the cams are in the wrong position. They're supposed to be here.
You're a fucking dick. You have the same engine, you fuck. Wow, white people.
No, it looks good. I mean, you
It
know.
actually really fucking does.
You know, I mean, it's...
All right, Dodge, I see you honky motherfuckers. All right, guys, so that's where we're gonna leave it today. We got the cover, the valve covers off, everything. I mean, cam-wise so far, everything looks good.
I mean, it all looks good. You know, it's not, you know, there's no abnormal wear, you know, on them. If you can kind of see, you can kind of see where the wear actually starts on the cam here, and that's because this is where it's it doesn't start lifting the, you know, or pushing down the valve at all, and this is where it actually starts to push it down, which is pretty normal. These are actually roller lifter or roller rockers that are on here. So this little doohickey right here is the rocker arm, and it's got a pivot point right there, and it rolls on the cam, and then it comes down here. If you can actually see that, and that's what pushes the valve down.
Yeah, what other engine has something like this?
The Coyote motor.
Yep. Sure the fuck does.
Except it's got 2 more cylinders back here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And they can't stay working properly. Shout out to Bobby. Anyway, we're gonna leave it at that today, guys. Cams look good. You know what? We made let me step out here. An outrageous amount of progress today. So far so good. I mean, we're not worried about the driver's side. That seems like it's okay. The next time we dive into this, we're gonna be pulling this head off, and then we'll be able to check the piston height and do a leak test. And
We're gonna do both heads come off. I mean, you know.
well, yeah, of course.
Well,
we're
I'm
gonna
just
change
saying,
one gasket. We're gonna change both gaskets.
well, of course, but I'm just saying we're gonna take both of them off and check both of the, you know, both of the pistons, the rings, and you know, not the rings, but the height of the. Make sure everything's coming up right, so the no rods are damaged on either side.
The reason why we're worried about that, and we're not so much honestly worried about it, but the engine was hot. There was coolant introduced to the cylinder. It was continually driven back to the shop. We just want to make sure our rod's not bent. That's it. We accomplished it the other day, including getting off the original connecting pipes. What would you say? 1, maybe 2 more weeks?
Oh yeah, I mean, another week of, you know, another Saturday of coming over, pulling them off, checking everything. You know, you've got Sunday to kind of start cleaning on it and everything, so It's not like a huge deal. So I mean, it's at least 2 weeks, maybe 3, just depending on, you know, actual work time. 2 to 3 weeks. You know, I'm lazy and fat, so it's not really sure if it's going to be like consecutive weeks, but
well, as long as we get her back up before Wham, I'm stoked. There it is, guys. Like, share, subscribe, all that crazy shit we always do. And Eric,
yo,
how you finish it out?
stay savage.